Okay, this is the Fisher IDXL metal detector. I believe it was introduced in the early 2000, around 2000, 2001, 2002 maybe, something like that. I might be wrong, but anyhow, it's pretty rare. I don't think they made a lot of them. There's only one coil. It's an 8-inch coil. And they say that they're very good in trashy areas, but they say they don't have a huge depth. Compared to the CZs, I don't think they are as deep. But I tried this in my test garden, which has coins buried in it, and they've been there for approximately a year or so. It worked quite well, even deeper than air testing, which surprised me, because usually air testing is supposed to be the deepest it can go, because there's no interference between the coil and the coin if it's in the air. So surprisingly, and maybe it's halo effect, who knows, but in the ground, actually, this detected even an Indian head at 13 inches. Now, it only did it one direction, and it was off and on, but it was one of those questionable, do you dig it, do you not, kind of signals. So I was kind of surprised at 13 inches, and that was with discrimination, not all metal mode. That was with discrimination, so it was surprising, and it came up as a good target. It did fine on coins at 4 inches, 6 inches, 8 inches even. I did get some at 8 inches deep. Good signal. Two-way good signal. Now in the air, it doesn't seem to be any deeper than 8, but we'll show you with different objects. Alright, so it's on right now. You have the on-off switch, you have menu, which allows you to choose between discrimination, sensitivity. I've got discrimination on 6, which is right there. I believe these are pretty much the preset spots. The sensitivity is at 8, which is the preset. So we'll just leave it at the presets. Discrimination mode is set so it pretty much does coins. And doesn't detect iron or anything like that. Okay, here we go with Kennedy half. Okay, Kennedy half dollar, 1974. 6 inches. 7. 8. Still getting a signal at 8. That was 8 inches. Now on here, silver coins tend to be in the 30s, I believe. So yeah, that's at probably 8.5 inches. Alright, so 8.5 inches on Kennedy half. Now we'll do a 1964 silver quarter. That's at 6 inches, 7 inches. I'm getting a little bit at 8 inches there. So, 8 inches is actually giving us a little bit of a signal there. Okay, here's a buffalo. No date. Let's see, here it's a medium tone, because nickel would be a more medium tone. This does have different tones, one for iron, I think there's 4 tones: iron, foil, nickel, and silver, for the most part. So that's 5 inches, 6, 7. That's funny. 8 doesn't give me. Well, give me a little bit. 7's about as deep as that is going to give me. And that's 11, which is about right for a nickel. If it shows negative numbers, it's iron. So anything positive is technically good, but in the lower range would be foil and nickels, as well as, you know, some gold, etc. But in my test garden at 8 inches, it definitely will work fairly well at 8 inches or more. So this air test, again, it can vary in your soil conditions. So here's a mercury dime. It's 1941. It's 5 inches, 6 inches, 7 inches. Getting 8 inches. This is 8 inches. That's pretty good that you're getting anything. Not much though. That's 7. Get a good signal at 7. Eight inches, just a hair. So 7's about the limit on that one. Here we have an Indian head penny. This is 1902, I believe. 5 inches, 6 inches, 7, 8. See, 8 inches was max. At 8 inches, we're still getting a good signal. It's light. Good signal though. And again, at 13 inches, I had an Indian head buried in my test garden, and one direction every couple tries, one direction, I was getting a decent signal, which was surprising. 13 inches. So again, air tests, sometimes they don't tell you everything. Okay, I'm going to try something different here. Big chunk of iron. See what this does. Oops, that was really close to the coil. Yeah, it doesn't really get it at all. Just a little bit when you get up around 4 inches. But overload, and it was showing negatives. This is an old fuse I dug up. Just see what this does. 3 inches, 4 inches. It's probably because there's some brass in there. It shows, that's why I dug it. So, it kind of shows you that. How about a 22 shell? Try that. That's about 4 inches. Getting close to 5 inches there. That's pretty good on a tiny thing, and that, you know, does have good metal in it, so. Yeah, let's try good old wonderful pull tab. 7 inches, 8 inches. Wow, 9 inches. Faint, but at 9 inches you're getting, it looks like a nickel signal, and that's pretty much where these things fall, unfortunately. But that's really thin and small, so that's actually pretty sensitive. There's an old Jefferson, well, it's a 1990s Jefferson nickel I dug up. That's 6 inches, 7 inches. You're getting 8 inches. Oops. Just dropped it. But anyway, so it was getting up to 8 inches. Yeah. Okay. Let's try a bottle cap. That's at 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow, that's 11 inches. You're still getting that. Hey, it detects a bottle cap at about 11 inches. That's pretty good, actually, considering that. What an old nail. Nothing, really. That's around 1 inch or so. It's negative, though. So, that, any other kind of coin, we can try an old religious metal. That's about 8 inches. It's pretty good. I think that's aluminum or something. Right. Let's try a ring. It's a silver ring. That's about 8 inches. I don't know, but that is silver plated anyway. It's about 8 inches. And how about a 16th real? That is trying to see what the year is on it. It is 1700s anyway. See, we got that's 7 inches. 7 inches, and that is a tiny, I mean, that's smaller than a dime. That's like really thin and small. So 7 inches, that's pretty good. So anyhow,